Welcome to Module 4, Unit 6. We are going to dimension the views. I have here 3 examples ready to dimension, 3 parts with the corresponding views. This is our first part, and we use the commands distance between 2 points, for example, like this case, and I can always modify dimension style. For example, the size of the text or the font. Now I have my style. I will undo because it is too big, and I will go on with the dimension. I use command smart dimension for this line, and see I have to move because the number must be clearly seen. In this case also I have to move the number in the dimension because it is important that it is clear the dimension of the element. It is important for manufacturing. I see now dimension between 2 points for the hexagonal hole. I must dimension in this way. It is on the standard. I can dimension inside the part. And now, for example, I need to position the hexagonal hole. Don't forget always to position the elements you have on your draft. Now I'm going to dimension the thread, and see I have a problem because it must be M. So I need to state a prefix because it is a threaded hole. So I have to state the prefix M. Now I have my thread dimensioned, and I will go on with the other elements. For example, the length of the thread, and now the blind hole. See that I can dimension in the hatch, but I need to see clear the number so I can fill with background color. And if I zoom, you will see I have the number clear. Now I continue. I have to position the threaded hole, and I can dimension my second part. Here with smart dimension, it is a radius, but this one should be dimensioned with diameter. I can click here and change, select diameter. I move a little bit the dimension and move the number to see it clear. This is very important when you are dimensioning your draft. Now I go on. For example, the distance between these 2 centers, because my part is symmetric, and the height. Now I will dimension the milling. I need to dimension this distance, and again I will have to move the number. You just click and drag. This is the distance. I also have to indicate and once again move my number. And finally, this radius. But remember, it is a milling. And the standards indicates it must be an inferred dimension. That's it. You have to select your dimension, and with reference you will have it as the standard indicates, with a parenthesis in the dimension. This is the third part. We are going to dimension. These steps are quite easy with distance between. Now the radius and the height. And now we are going to see what happens with this. I'm going to do it with symmetric diameter. I indicate this axis, and this is the dimension. But it is not quite correctly done. I will have to modify a little bit. So I will select my dimension once again, and I'm going to state full diameter. But now I have to delete the terminator and projection line. So I select and I state to display only the origin of terminator, dimension and projection line. I just want to see the origin. That's it, what you have, which is better than what was before. And I have to do just the same with the other dimension. Again, I select the dimension and I state full diameter, and now I only display the origin for the terminator and for dimension line and projection line, just the origin. So I have exactly my dimensions as the international standard states. This is very important. Although you are using a CAD program, you must indicate the standard. You must dimension according to what standard indicates. Now once again, I have to fill with background color to see perfectly the number. This is very important. This is the end of Module 4. We will be waiting for you in Module 5, practicing with part view.